Back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you guys having a great and exceptional day. It's Tuesday, so let's get it. Today's word of the day is fingering. Stands for the indication of a musical score of which fingers are being used in playing. Main reason why I chose this is we all are playing to a various kinds of beats, regardless of how you look at it. I just saw a video that talked about what was it? Basically, a video that talked about how, in a sense, modern slavery never really ended. Now, a lot of people would disagree with that, and I do as well, because if you think about the old adage of indentured servitude or slavery, um, people's cultures and languages were ripped apart. Their religion was ripped apart from them. Their spirituality was taken away from them. And that's just not talking about just the African slave trade or indentured servitude, but a variety that's happened all over the world. So, but the premise of that, the video I just saw, it talked about the ancient Egyptians, how they would do the same thing for their lord or their king, um, as far as working in the mines all day, working gold, building pyramids, whatever, and giving all the good stuff over to the powers that be. And in a sense, for regular everyday working people, it can be like that. But in the United States of America, it can be like that up to a point where if you not even just work hard, but if you network with the right people and have the right mindset, then you can think outside the box and live a lifestyle that's clearly outside the box. And I always say the pandemic taught a lot of people that being at home more, whether you were working from home or whether you were on unemployment, if you did the right thing by trying to learn how to make more money online, passively, side hustles, open up a business, turn your side hustle into a business, then you're able to say, hey, I have options. See, that's really what freedom is to me. You know, economic freedom, at least. I have options. You know, I can I could get another job. My business can supplement my income that I have in my job. So therefore my job becomes an option, or my business can become an option. You know, even the people that you're around can become options, you know, like family members outside of your kids, obviously. Because significant others can become options, you know, your spouses can become options, but you know, the people that you interact with can become options. Okay, it should, well, as you're an adult, it should be optional. Now, obviously, when you it's different when you are at a job, because you have to be surrounded by certain kinds of people. But it doesn't mean you have to engage with any job. Be happy you have a job, number one. But number two, remember, with any job, just do your job and go home. You don't have to, you know, let people know what you're doing. Let people, especially if you're outside of the box thinker like myself, if you know, hey, this job is optional. I have other goals and aspirations. I like making money passively. I like getting tax write-offs from having a company, you know, things of that nature. But you don't have to announce that to the world. Just learn to be silent more, you know. Learn to be more silent. Learn to be not actually, you know, when it comes to fingering, position yourself to not be so active and verbal, you know, talking and letting the world know what you're doing, because that's when people do their best. And I've been a victim of this, and a lot of other people have. People do their best to grandstand you and to hate on you and to block you and to do whatever they can to ensure that you're not as prosperous as they are, or become more prosperous than they are, because that's just what being around haters is about. That's why for me, it's like at this point in my life, I'm not trying to be around other men unless I'm getting paid to be around them, or we have the same mindset of, hey, you know, I'm going to bring you this good idea. What do you think about it? Or vice versa. And we're feeding off of each other. You're not just sucking me dry for my good ideas, and I'm not sucking you dry for your ideas. It's a give and take situation. And I want to be around men who want to be more than just one thing. Is if you're married, you're supposed to be aspiring to be a good husband, so you don't need to get credit for that. If you're a father, you should aspire to be a good father. You don't need to get credit for that. People have been doing this since the beginning of time. So I get tired of hearing that. I want to be around men who want to talk about business and investments, those main things. Okay. Now, if you want to be an expert in NFL and NBA and video games outside of that, then cool. But if you can't have a conversation with me about business and the best businesses to start or invest in, then we're really not going to have that much in common, because that's where my mindset is on. Doesn't make me think that I'm better than anybody, but I'm figuring my mindset to the point to put it in motion to, hey, this is the kind of people I want to be around. This is why I paid my monthly fee to be a part of Earn Your Leisure University. This is why I'm going back to InvestFest in Atlanta. I got to network with people while I was down there, and I want to network with more people who are on the same wavelength mentally, physically, and spiritually, because those are the people that are trying to win economically. All right, that's the real shine. You know, they don't care about driving Teslas and having a 6-bedroom overpriced house. They care about what the bank accounts and the assets are looking like and how we can continuously prosper off this great country known as the United States. And even for the people, I don't invest in Forex, but even the people who invest in foreign companies and foreign governments and whatnot, you know, people who do the Forex play, so, or the crypto play. Those are the kind of folks I want to be associated with. Okay. Because those are the kind of folks that are talking about who's making the moves. Okay. And of course, yeah, I like to be around people who know how to have a good time all at the same time, but I want to be around men that are talking about business and investments, because that's why men, and if you're on my Facebook, you'll see men that I've never met, who I'll never meet. If I see that they have a business, I will like and I will share. It's very simple. It's very, and if I ever actually use their service, I'll give a shout out to them. But I will at least like and share, because I know that these people are investing in something that's bigger than just having a job. Okay, now if somebody gets a new job, I'll still congratulate them. If somebody gets a degree or a certification, I will congratulate them. A victory is a victory for anybody. But my whole thing is, I'm 41 years old. I've been around professionals my whole adult life. I've had the pleasure of that. I've been around people with 1,000 degrees. Highest GPAs. I want to be around men who are talking about business and investments. That's the kind of class of people I want to associate with. Because whether they're arrogant, pompous or not, if I can learn something from you in that aspect, then people can learn from me. And it's a beautiful economic and an intellectual merry-go-round that is taking place. But if the mindset is, I just want to be a basic employee, complain about politics, complain about my job, complain about my family, then we don't have much to talk about. I mean, I'm just going to binge out off of sports and comic books. We're really not going to have much to talk about. I'm not mad at people. The binge out over video games, I'm not mad at people. But the only gamers I want to talk to are the ones talking about how they make money gaming. That's the only conversation I want to have. Or the best gaming companies to invest in. That's the economic conversation I want to have with a gamer. Outside of that, what are the best games to play? I don't play games, so I just look at it like that. So same thing with people who are into comic books. Nothing wrong with that. What are the best comic books to invest in? What are the best companies to invest in when it comes to the anime world? That's the conversation I want to have. The investor conversation. That's what it boils down to. I don't need to know the entertaining aspects of it, because when I want to be entertained, I'll watch a movie or a show, but even then I don't keep up with too many of those things because I don't have the time nor the interest like I used to when I was younger. So it's just my version of my evolution. Doesn't make me think I'm better than anybody, but that's just where I'm at mentally. So that's why I like to engage with. So today's quote of the day is by Mac Miller. He says, they're gonna try to tell you no. Shatter all your dreams, but you're going to get up and go and think of better things. And I could not agree with that statement more. And that's another reason why you have to be surrounded with the right people and network with the right people. I can't tell you how many times I made a mistake, and this was definitely in my youth. Letting people know my goals and aspirations, and they would always say, oh, you can't do that based off of what you make, based off of the job you have, no vision, no dreams, because these people live basic, boring lives, Not everybody wants to be Leave It to Beaver, Brady Bunch, Family Matters. Not everybody just wants to live a basic, boring existence. So people have other goals and aspirations outside of that. And that's why a lot of times the youth will not listen to their elders, because if the youth doesn't look at their elders' life and say, dang, I want that person's lifestyle, then why are they really going to listen to you when it comes to I mean, people get mad and get upset when they see the youth. All they're doing is admiring celebrities, admiring athletes. And all I have to say to that is, well, let's put things into perspective. Those athletes and celebrities are living a lifestyle that you're not living. They're living a lifestyle these young people want to live. Heck, when I was young, I wanted to be Snoop Dogg. I loved the lifestyle that he had. I mean, I'm the 80s baby, so I grew up in the generation of seeing MTV Cribs. You know, living in Woodbridge, Virginia, Los Angeles was looking very beautiful at the time. It still looks beautiful now. But LA looked very beautiful at the time when I would see Snoop Dogg's house. You know, when I'd see Ice-T's house. I never forgot, I know he lives in New York now, but I never forget how he had the ceilings opened up in his house and whatnot so air can come in. So, yeah, seeing a celebrity's home and whatnot, where they're looking at beautiful mountains and beautiful oceans and palm trees and whatnot, it looked pretty good compared to sitting in Woodbridge, Virginia, and, you know, seeing basic neighborhoods and things of that nature, or, you know, or somebody who grows up in a bad neighborhood. You know, it's just like, you know, so yeah, seeing a celebrity go around the world 5,000 times, making money, you know, not living a regular basic mundane life. Yeah, I mean, that's the reason why celebrity culture has become so popular now, because I could see that this is why most kids nowadays, especially who grew up in middle class, upper middle class, or rich homes, yeah, they're looking at the celebrity like, yeah, or they're looking at the CEOs, be like, yeah, I want to aspire to be that person, because that person, now, granted, they don't live a perfect existence, but that person is living a lifestyle that clearly they don't have to take a vacation from. And to me, that should be the ultimate goal for anybody. Learn how to survive, then learn how to thrive, and then, you know, enjoy your life while you're alive. I mean, those are really simple things to live by. But I digress. So, on that note, do the great thiefy things, like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. I won't be making as many videos this week because I'm getting back to normal. But I'm noticing my word of the day videos are becoming more rants because I'm not making any other content this week. So, but that's really when it boils down to it. And if you're new to Larry's Anything Goes, first I apologize. I'm getting over allergies. Just getting back from Seattle. I sell products online. I talk about economics, financial intelligence. I don't give out financial advice. I just say, hey, this is what I'm going to invest in. I'm a part of brokerages like Acorn, Stash, things of that nature, to where I invest my money in with my picks. You got to do your own homework. Always do your own homework. Never listen to anybody online. Even if somebody calls himself a financial professional, do your own research. We're all adults here. But and that's what I do, you know, as far as that, you know, with the Patterson No Properties. If you ever go to the other YouTube page, I basically I wholesale real estate, mainly just buying properties via tax sales, county tax sales, and that's another thing that people need to stop watching media, because you know how much government makes people rich, how many people the government has made rich, not just from a federal level, but from the state and local government level, from sales auctions of people selling vehicles and properties and boats, and people flip those items. They fix them up and they flip them, or they sell them as is for a profit. That's what I do with county tax liens. Then you get into your government contracts, to where, mind you, not just federal, state and county and city contracts. Whether it's for janitorial services, IT services, whatever, you know, whether it's any sort of blue collar or white collar services, if you're awarded these contracts and you do a good job, a lot of times people make a lot of money from these services, from providing these services for government entities from all local branches of government. So, but like I said, if you listen to media, they're always going to say this is bad. Well, a lot of times, just remember, not even just contracts with government entities, but contracts with major corporations. You know, a friend of mine who's in the cleaning business, he's had federal government contracts, state government contracts, county government contracts, and big major corporate contracts, but just owning a cleaning company. And he's bought his retirement home in West Virginia, paid off at the age of 43, 45, 44 years old. So these are the things that matter to me the most, because the beautiful thing about the 20-somethings now, I always say, is they are very fortunate to grow up in a time where they have access to all this information. So they don't have to just consume what their elders tell them. They don't have to just consume what the school system tells them. They don't have to just consume what the media tells them. They can go online and look up things and figure things out on their own, get mentorship, whether it's in person or online, and they can make the right conscientious decision to say, hey, this works for me, this doesn't work for me. That is as crazy as times may be right now, this is what makes it one of the best times to be alive in this world right now, especially to be 20, 21 years old, no kids, making moves, whether you're in college, you're in the military, you got a skilled trade, to own your own business. This is a good time to if you got the right mindset and you're not just foolishly having sex all over the place and irresponsibly and hanging out and acting a fool, you can make some moves in this world. And that's just me talking about the one-on-one aspects of it. But it's all about having your mind, getting your mind together and being around the right people. Stay away from, and I'll say this, and I'm just going to talk to my 21-year-old self. Stay away from people because you just want to have friends. Stay away from people who want to live a basic lifestyle if that's not what you're looking to do. Okay? Now, if that's what you're looking to do, then be around people that want to have a basic lifestyle. Stay away from people who want to complain and whine all the time. Stay away from people that are always harping on the negative of every situation. I remember I've always been trying to be a positive person, but I remember in my 20s, for some odd reason, I attracted negative people, whether it was men or women, constantly. And because I wanted to have friends and whatnot, no matter who was willing to date me or who was willing to be friends with me, I would allow them in my life, and that was mistake number one. Keep those negative people away from you. They're not going to do you any good. They're just mental leeches on your soul. Remember that. And learn to say, hey, this is who I am. You know, the saying, standing on business, people standing on business. If you got, stay on your square. If you're going to stand on business, stand on business. If you're a person that wants to get married and have kids, then do that. If you're a person that doesn't want to do that, don't let a man or a woman sucker you into doing that because you are desperate for companionship. That's another thing, okay? If you don't want to be a parent, it ain't the end of the world. If you don't want to be a significant other, it ain't the end of the world. If you don't just want to have a basic job, it ain't the end of the world. But if you do want to have those things, then that's great as well. But this is called living life on your terms. That is the ultimate freedom. And nobody talks about having that enough because everybody wants you to fit into this category like you're still in high school. Okay? You don't evolve past high school if you're always worried about what other people think of you. You don't evolve past high school if you're living life on other people's terms and not your terms. Because you're the one that has to get up and look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I'm having a great life. I'm happy. I'm not happy. It's on you. At the end of the day, it is on you. So I'll leave it at that. On that note, do the great three things. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. As I always say, make money moves or you can live like a fool. Take care.